So we're about to kind of do a little fact checking and research. I actually had one of my viewers comment on a video. As a matter of fact, to be more specific, this gentleman, Mr. William Fielding, commented on my Monday market report video. All right, so there was one particular coin that caught his eye and eventually caught his ire. But here's what he had to say about that particular coin. Then we'll go ahead and look at the coin so guys, you know exactly the coin I was talking about. And you guys will know it the moment you see it. So Mr. Fielding had mentioned, I'm going to call BS on that first coin. I have 3 examples of that coin graded by NGC in mid-state 69 red, and NGC has its value at about $50 as of June 24th, 2022. Don't think I'm telling the truth. My registry sets are public. As of today, you can find my collection sitting at spot 708 on NGC's site. It's called the Fielding Collection. And before anyone asks, none of my coins are for sale. All right. So first of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Fielding, for commenting. All right. That's fantastic. I think, you know, based off of what I've seen, he's a full straight up registry set fanatic. You know, you're going to see that here momentarily, but I wanted to take some time to call this out, because I'm not here to, like, you know, genuinely try and prove someone wrong. Okay. That's not my game, but I think there's some clarification that needs to be, said. So that way this doesn't go on, you know, as being a comment that, you know, that's going to prove Mr. Fielding right or wrong. All right. But we're going to get to the bottom of what he's thinking. So the coin in question that he is referring to is this coin right here. You guys remember this. If you guys watched my Monday market report a few days ago, all right, this was the number one. This is the first coin in that list of 19 coins that I talked about. 2009 D Lincoln Cent Formative Years NGC Mid-State 68 red. That's the one. But look and see how much this one sold for. Not quite the $50 that Mr. Fielding, you know, said that he paid for his. I mean, I'm not going to say that he didn't pay $50 for his, or if he didn't send it out to NGC on his own and got it graded. But the proof is in the pudding. Someone actually spent, with the buyer's fee, $2,025. Which seems like a lot of money because this is an incredibly modern age of coin here. So, you know, if you guys had forgotten, this is what the coin looks like. It's got Mr. Lincoln sitting on a log reading a book. All right, it's a very iconic coin that was part of a four type release of bicentennials that not only signified the 100-year anniversary of the Lincoln Cent itself, but also the 150th anniversary as well of Lincoln. You know, so that's what the coin looks like. If you need a much closer look, this is what the coin looks like. People are still finding these, albeit they're getting a little bit tough to find in mid-state condition like this one. All right, so we're looking at the coin in person. It's sold on greatcollections.com for $2,025. All right, so I'm like, okay, I think I need to find out what the population figures are for this coin at the highest grade level. Is 68 the highest grade level, or is it 68 plus or 69? I mean, are we talking about different coins here? So I went and checked both NGC and PCGS population reports on a mid-state 68 red business strike coin, this one right here. And the NGC numbers, okay, if you could easily go into resources and then down to NGC census. And it's a pull up the census of all the coins, how many were graded of each date, what the highest grade level is, and you can even toggle back and forth like you see here between census and price guide. You could toggle between mint state and proof, because on most dates they did make both. Most of the time it's going to be San Francisco minted, but you know, you're going to have options to toggle between those two there. All right, so it's only 1 year 2009. You have the birth childhood, which is the log cabin, but we're trying to get to the formative years, which we've hit. There's the 2009 P formative years. Part of it's cut off there. I'm sorry about that. But you can see the total amount of coins of this date and mint mark that were graded by NGC. And it even breaks down the amount of coins that were graded at each respective grade level. So the highest is Mint State 66 at 21,014. So there are that many Mint State 66s. It's a very common grade, and it's a coin that I'm willing to bet it's worth less than $10. But you can also see Mint State 67 at this amount, and then 68 happens to be the top population grade of a 2009 P formative years Lincoln cent, with only 19 graded in a 68. But that's not the one we need to look at. We need to look at the Denver, which is coming up right here. Yeah, apparently the amount graded is cut down to a tenth of what the Philadelphia minted coin is. Only 2,703 excuse me, examples were graded. So here's the breakdown. Again, Mint State 66 is kind of like that high mountaintop point at 2,050. There were 143 in Mint State 67. And finally, the coin that sold on Great Collections is one of two that were graded as a Mint State 68. And you'll notice that there are no other grades higher than that. There's not even a plus designation. So that's the NGC census. If we swapped it over to price guide for this line right here, let's see, it doesn't even show it that it's over on the side here. And there we go. So let's go all the way back up to that 2009 D formative years, which would be right here. So there's an SMS bronze formative years, which is a special mint set only edition that is composed in bronze. So it's that copper tin composition that was used prior to 1982. They brought it back for the bicentennial, but you see in 69, it's $50. So Mr. Fielding wasn't wrong that the coin is $50 in Mint State 69. However, this is a special mint set. These are the satin strike coins that are only found available in their respective mint sets. The coin that was sold on Great Collections is a business strike coin that was in a roll that's circulated or was intended for circulation. They were packed in rolls, or they were sent to a facility that packed them in rolls and then sent out to the banks. They were made entirely to get beat up. Okay, and that's where the main differences between the two coins. As you can see, grade-wise, they don't even have a price for 68. All right, but yet we have two examples that graded in a 68 and 67. It drops off severely at $25. If you got a 67 one of these coins, it would be considered a loss, you know, in some regards. So that's the NGC census and price guide evaluator of that particular coin. Now, just for kicks and giggles, PCGS also has a pop report. All right, yeah, it's not the same, but we're going to talk about it anyways. And we are going to look at the 2009, probably page 4, I would imagine. Almost. There we go. All right, 2009 D, formative years, full red, right here. Go all the way across. Wow. Only one graded in Mint State 68. And that one has, I don't think that particular coin has made a public sale. So we've concluded that there are two NGC Mint State 68 reds of the Business Strike UNC coin, not the SMS, and one graded by PCGS in a 68. A very tough coin. I mean, just look at the Philadelphia as well. Only one graded, and there's been over 10,000 coins graded through PCGS. Apparently, the pick seems to be NGC because it got PCGS beat by over 2.5 times. So, yeah, 168. That's incredible. So I figured, hey, let's go ahead and check out Mr. Fielding's collection. And boy, he is very active on the registry set scene. He's got 190 competitive sets. He's even got his puppy there in the picture. He's amassed over 244,000 registry points. This is kind of like what you're playing for. It's a points-based system. So obtaining the finest specimens of every coin that you're actively participating in is going to bump up the registry points. And then, you know, you get things like this. You get kind of like, again, the bragging rights component of it is strong in the registry set community. You know, you get these virtual kind of trophies. You know, this one right here is for best in category, one-time winner. And I believe it was in like 2012. Yeah, 2012. So that's what that looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and click in here and see if we can find that Lincoln Cent registry. He may very well have the finest specimens of those Unk coins. I don't know. Yeah, but he's done koala dollars, maple leaves, pandas. I mean, he's doing it all here. Fielding collections, circulated Lincoln Cents, circulation issue, including varieties. I don't think that's it. Fielding collection, Life of Lincoln Mint Set, Lincoln Cents, Life of Lincoln, 2009, Mid State and SMS. So this one right here is what we're going to have to click into. This is the proof set. Yeah, that's the one we're going to have to click into. Clickety-clack. So this one right here. And let's see what it looks like. Ranked 27th. He's compiled 2,337 points in this collection. And if we scroll down here, okay. So this explains a lot. So he has a number of these SMS coins which come out of mint sets. They're the satin strikes, and he's got 2009, 2009D, Birthplace and Childhood. Both are Mint State 68 reds. These ones here that say 2009 Birth and Childhood, he does not have these coins in the registry yet. So he does not he either doesn't own it, or he hasn't updated his registry to take into account these coins here. 2009 formative years. Here's the 2009D formative years. This would be the Business Strike coin, the one that we saw in Great Collections. He has an NGC Mid-State 65 red. Okay. All right. Well, this gains a lot more clarity than it did. This one's cool though. 2009 formative years SMS. So that's the special mint set. He actually owns the Top Pop coin for that particular grade, for that date and type at a Mint State 69 red. All right, so that's pretty neat. I like seeing that little designation there. Here's the 2009D formative years SMS Mint State 68 red. So yeah, he does have a Mint State 68 red, similar to what the Great Collections coin is, but it's the special mint set. Those are produced in such higher quality, kind of like proof coins, because they're prepared with different dyes that composed a satiny strike rather than a regular kind of business strike Unk appearance to it. They're both kind of similar, but when you look at both of them side by side, that's where you see a lot of the differences between one and the other. One is just really, really like sharp, satiny. You don't get kind of like the voids in the flow of the metal on there, which is kind of polarizing when you look at both. So this explains everything. He does not have that Unk coin that we saw sold for $2,000. He has a Mint State 65 red of that very coin. And this is what it looks like here. Still a pretty looking coin. You know, for a registry set, you can't go wrong. So that's what that coin looks like. Just take note of it. And when we look at the SMS coin, it's actually going to say 2009D SMS bronze on the label, formative years. But take a look at the coin. Much more sharper. Kind of has certain like kind of proof-like surfaces on certain occasions. But this one right here, again, very well struck, as it should be because it's in a mint set. So that's why I wanted to talk about. Sorry, Mr. Fielding. You know, it's hopefully that little bit of clarification. And yeah, you've been doing the registry set game for quite some time. Registry sets, not my thing. I'm a little kind of, I don't know, my mind's a little scatterbrained to do registry sets. I like, you know, just focusing on typesets and then doing graded piece dollars and things like that. I just don't have, you know, the mental kind of fortitude to do this specifically because, especially in your case, when you have 190 different sets, my God. I mean, congratulations, by the way, for compiling some pretty nice sets. Even without looking at the other ones, he is certainly top of the class for a lot of the respective sets. So there you go. Hopefully, you know, and it's a way of kind of fact checking because people have called me out all the time on this and that and the other. I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and double check because I owe it to them. I owe it to a lot of people that come in and say, hey, you know what, you got this wrong or you did that wrong. And, you know, most of the time I'll say, yeah, you're right. Thank you for clarifying. I was 100% wrong, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not the Alibaba of, you know, of the numismatic scene. I'm not that guy. I'm just a guy that shares in the passion of the hobby. Sure, I probably know more than I really want to, but at the same time, it's more of a you know, an educational kind of talk that I think everybody appreciates. Because at the end of the day, you want to minimize the mistakes, especially when it goes to selling your collection, by knowing the finer details like this. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Another video in the books. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. But also check out my TikTok, at Blue Ridge Silverhound, if you guys are into that, that platform. I'm also on there as well. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.